In this video, we'll be looking at the alerts functionality for OpenWhy. We'll go through how to add a new alert for your OpenWhy site, and also how to edit that alert to display it on individual pages if needed. To add a new alert, I'm just going to go straight to the content menu in the main administration menu on the top of my screen here. And I'm going to use the Add Content button here just to add some new content to the site. And from the list of content types, I'm going to select Alert. This screen is where we can enter all of the information about the alert, including the content for the alert, the color, the link, etc. So I'll just go through these one by one. So the title is fairly self-explanatory, will be the main title that the alert displays. And we'll have a description area here as well, where we can provide some more information about the alert, which displays below the title. We can select a color for the alert. As a quick side note, the alerts for your OpenWhy site might have a slightly different design and configuration, so these colors might not be exactly the same. And also they may display slightly differently on the page from what we're about to see. We can then select our text color. And if we choose, this is an optional field, we can add an icon. If we just leave it empty, there will be no icon displayed. If we do want an icon displayed, we can just select a color from the list here. The placement 9 times out of 10 is always going to be the header. That's how most alerts are configured for OpenWhy sites, as you don't really have much need or would benefit to display an alert in the footer, as that wouldn't be as obvious for users. The link is a normal link field, so we can either search for a page that exists on the site already. We can add the link manually by typing the last part of the URL link, so that's if it's in this site, or we can just add an external link if we wanted to, just by typing the full address of a page we want to link to. In this case, I'm just going to link back to the front page just for testing purposes. And then this section is where we are telling the OpenWhy site where we want this page, this alert to be displayed. So if we wanted it just for an individual page, we could just type in, again, just the last part of the URL for where we'd want it to display. In this case, this would be this website /blog. The other thing you can do, and it explains just in the description below, you can use the asterisk character as a wildcard. So all that means is if we want to include a group of subset of pages, so let's just say for any page that is under the blog link here, we can just add the asterisk. So this now is basically telling this alert to display on the main blog page /blog, and also any subpages of /blog. So any blogs that are saved with /blog, the first part of it here will then also display this alert. We can go through this as many pages as we want. We just start a new line for each one, and you can add as many links as you want for this. If, for example, we just wanted to add this to the whole site, we could just say include all pages. So just / is the root or the home page. And then if we did /*, that is then any subpage of the home page, which obviously all pages are on your website. So that would basically display everywhere. But just for this example, I'll leave it as displaying on the main blog page and also any subpage of the blog. The alternative option here is, instead of just showing for these listed pages, you can flip that. So you could hide for the listed pages. That might be useful if you want to display it on 99% of the site, but there's just a few pages you don't want the alert to show. So that's just a quicker and easier way of just defining it the other way around. And then finally, there is a new bit of functionality for alerts, which I'll explain just in a second. It's a separate way to essentially define where an alert is displayed, and it's essentially linking to pages that are relevant to certain branches. So this isn't a requirement that you use this part. but it's another kind of different way of having your alerts configured to display them in different areas, and I'll explain that in a second. But just for now, I'm just going to save the alert. You'll see that we've created the alert straight away. It gives us a little preview. Now, if we go back to the home page, we would expect not to see the alert, which is correct because we actually didn't ask it to display the alert here, but we did ask it to display on the blog page. So if I go to, just load this in a separate tab, our /blog, you can see straight away here that we've got an alert that is displayed here. And also if we go to any of these blog pages, so they're all /blog/page, whatever that might be, they're all by default, by using that wildcard, gonna display this alert as well. The other option here for your alerts, so I'm just gonna go to the content menu again, and I'm gonna filter by the content type alert. This is an easy way of just seeing straight away all the alerts that you have. You can see on this site, we've got the one we've just published, but we have a bunch that are unpublished as well. Now, just for testing and demonstration purposes, I'm just going to modify the alert that we just had to display on the whole site. And I'm also just going to publish one of the other alerts, just so we can see what happens when we have more than one alert on the site. I'm just going to publish this alert here. One of the other demo alerts we've got on this site. And I'm just going to load in a new tab here, the home page. So you can see here now we have this other alert we've just published, and we now have an arrow to move between the alerts. Obviously, if we are on any page that only has one alert added, so in this case it was the /blog, it still now only has our one alert because the one alert that we just published is only applicable for the home page here. If you wanted to change the order of which way round these display, that's also very straightforward to do. If we go back to our content menu, at the top of the screen, you'll have some different tabs right at the top, just below the main title for the content page. You'll see here an alerts rearrange option. This is where you can easily drag and drop any published alerts that you have on the site to display in a particular order. So I'm just going to change that around just to demonstrate that quickly. And as you can see, our alert is now the other way around. The alert we added first is now displaying first, and then the alert that I published secondly to test this is just displaying afterwards. Finally, just going back to that second locations option we had on our alert. So this was where we just look right at the bottom. Instead of listing the visibility pages, we have this location option as well. This is newer functionality for the alerts in OpenWhy, and it allows us basically to reference a branch or branches, so I could select multiples if I wanted to for an alert. And what happens is that on your landing pages and a couple of other content types as well, but predominantly landing pages, you will see that you have, so I'm just going to pick any one of these here. So I'll just pick up the events page. You'll see you'll have the same location field here. So essentially, when you're creating landing pages, if they're relevant to a branch, you may choose to reference that here. And then that is going to reference back to the alerts functionality. So then if I reference alert for the West YMCA in this example, that is then going to display on any landing pages that have also the West YMCA assigned. As I mentioned at the start, this is an optional feature. You may just choose to use the visibility pages to control exactly where you want this, but this could work well in a scenario maybe where you've got lots of different sites and lots of different branches for your association, and you might have lots of landing pages that are relevant to those separate branches but not others. And this is quite an easy way of, without having to kind of manually type in which pages you want your alert to display on, just in one kind of click, really, referencing that branch, you're then going to automatically reference those landing pages that have that branch assigned to them as well, or branches again. It can be individual or multiples. That concludes the overview of the alerts functionality. I hope this is useful, and thank you for your time.